Small business. Understanding the small business router. Router isn't just Wi-Fi. A small business router is the central traffic controller for every digital interaction within the small business, acting as the gateway. SmartStart. Exploring small business router network performance and security. The Internet Gateway. The small business router is the point where the small business internal network connects to the outside world, the Internet. Traffic direction. Small business router examines each piece of digital data leaving the small business, determines where digital data needs to go, and ensures response comes back to the correct device. Digital packets hold what seems ordinary: an email, an order, a receipt, but together represent the small business digital business. Translation. NAT. Small Business Network uses a single public address to communicate with the Internet. A small business network router handles the complex task of translating a single external address into multiple internal addresses of the cash register, computers, and phones. How it works. Service Set Identifier, SSID. Human readable name visible when looking for Wi-Fi network. Bob's Bakery Wi-Fi. Devices, phones, laptops, constantly scan for public broadcasted names and use to connect. Visibility. Anyone within range, a customer, a passerby, or a potential attacker, can see the public name and know that a network exists at that location. The internal switchboard. The small business network router is responsible for communication between devices inside the small business network. Device visibility. Small business network. Router allows devices to see and send digital files. Small business printer or security camera to send digital footage. Shared environment. Small business software tools, payment systems, cameras, computers are on a shared small business environment. Small business devices connect through small business network router's internal function. The average range for one small business router. Most routers have a theoretical maximum of around 200-250 devices based on standard IP addressing. However, the practical functional limit is much lower before performance degrade. Key takeaway. If a small business has 10 employees, they are likely to have 20 to 30 devices connected. Laptop, phone, printer, VoIP phone, guest tablet, etc. This means a solid mid-range or high-end router is often required, not an entry-level one. Why the actual limit is much lower. The limit is not how many IP addresses the small business network router can assign. How much processing power, CPU and RAM it has to manage connections and handle small business network traffic. Processing power, CPU. A small business network. Router's CPU determines how quickly it can manage network traffic, route data, and process security functions. A more powerful CPU can handle a larger number of active connections and higher data throughput. Memory, RAM. The RAM stores the routing table and information about connected devices. More RAM allows the small business network router to efficiently track and manage stateful firewall sessions for more devices. Throughput/bandwidth capacity. The total amount of data the small business network router can process, measured in Mbps or Gbps. The router might physically connect 50 devices. If the combined data usage exceeds its throughput capacity, the network will slow down. Digital segmentation. Small business network. Router's primary security function is creating internal boundaries. Guest isolation. Modern routers include a guest or isolation feature. Enabled creates a separate section of Wi-Fi. Guest section allows visitor devices to access the Internet. Visitor devices are blocked from the core small business systems, payment terminals, or computers. The digital wall acts as the internal firewall for the small business router network. limiting what a device can see and stopping a potential threat on a guest device from spreading to the secure parts of the small business router network. Why this means extra protection is necessary. Wi-Fi signal is public. It requires robust security measures. Small business should secure the network and the access. Network security, the router. The small business network router is the main gateway, and its broadcasted signal is the door someone might try to open. Strong passwords. The password, encryption key, is the only thing keeping threats out. Ensure the small business network router is using encryption standard, WPA3 or WPA2. Separate networks, guest and business. Set up at least 2 distinct Wi-Fi small business router networks. Private business network, small business operations. Guest network, for customers or visitors, a small business router. Network isolated from private small business router network. Guests can't see or access the sensitive small business internal devices. Firewall. The small business router should have a firewall enabled to act as a barrier, inspecting traffic and blocking common malicious intrusion attempts. A typical firewall configuration on a small business network router is built around a default deny policy, meaning it blocks all incoming traffic by default and only allows traffic that is specifically permitted by a set of security rules. Router software firmware. Programs inside the small business network router. The operating system that tells the hardware how to function, manage router network traffic, and enforce security rules. Understanding and managing router firmware is part of network security. Automatic updates. Check the small business network router settings to enable automatic firmware updates. This ensures the router's software is patched for security vulnerabilities without requiring manual IT intervention. While setting a small business router's firmware to update automatically is a great security measure, it does not guarantee the small business network router is using the latest version. The small business takeaway. Automatic updates should be seen as a convenience feature, not a set-it-and-forget-it security guarantee. Perform a manual check regularly to ensure the automatic process hasn't stalled or been missed. Encryption, how to protect data in motion. The code, the small business network router and device agree on, when a device connects to the small business Wi-Fi router network. Encryption protocol converts the data into unreadable text, preventing easy eavesdropping on the small business router networks. Router encryption. Encryption scrambles the small business data that travels wirelessly between small business devices and the small business router. If a hacker intercepts it, data can't be read, sensitive small business information. WPA3, secure encryption method. Key advantage. It uses a much smarter handshake process that stops hackers from easily guessing the small business password. It provides individualized encryption for every device, meaning if one device is compromised, the others are still protected. WPA2, the current minimum standard for a secure small business network. It's secure enough provided the small business use a strong password. If encryption is missing or outdated, the small business data can be read as it travels, even if the small business network is never entered. The letters WPA2 or WPA3 indicate how strong that scrambling process is. It doesn't change the speed of the small business Wi-Fi, but defines how private. The shared network environment. The small business router isn't just connecting a couple of laptops, it's connecting the entire small business operation. Each of those small business devices talks not only to the internet, but also to the small business router, and often to each other. This shared environment means that a single weak device, such as an outdated camera or old printer, can become a pathway for an hacker to see other devices on the small business network. Network segmentation, creating boundaries. Small business network segmentation is simply the act of creating separate Wi-Fi rooms or boundaries inside the small business router, separating the devices trusted from the devices untrusted. It takes the riskiest, least trusted devices, customer phones, visiting vendor laptops, etc., and isolates them. The guest section allows internet access, but blocks access to small business systems. The small business can apply the same segmentation principle to the small business devices to contain the weak links. Secure boundaries, protecting the core small business, business core, private trusted devices, utility/IoT, low trust, cameras, printers, guest, no trust devices, provides maximum security with minimal ongoing maintenance. Router logs, the record of activity. Router logs, the record of small business activity. Actions on the small business network leave a digital footprint. The small business router is the record keeper. Router connection logs exist for troubleshooting technical issues, are a valuable tool for monitoring security. Typical small business router log. Information router logs, often called system logs, security logs, or traffic logs, record events related to the router's operation, network traffic, and security functions. The specific data recorded depends on the router model and its logging settings. Small business router network activity logs are typically reviewed for deviates from normal, expected activity. Due to the limited storage space on most small business routers, activity logs are stored temporarily and overwritten quickly. Identify devices. Know the digital ID of small business devices. Look for time gaps. Scroll to when small business activity. Recognize the unknown. If a device ID doesn't match to the small business inventory, investigate. Why protecting the small business Wi-Fi router network? Adds small business value. Small business Wi-Fi network isn't just an amenity for customers. It's the central nervous system of the entire small business operation. Every critical task, from processing a credit card to scheduling a job, relies on the small business router network. Protecting the small business router network is an investment to safeguard the small business revenue and reputation. A security problem doesn't always announce itself with a giant error message. A compromised connection might not show obvious signs. It often manifests as subtle issues that hurt the small business bottom line. Slowing down. A hacker's malware running in the background, observing or stealing data, consumes precious bandwidth, leading to dropped signals, lagging cash registers, and frustrated employees and customers. Layers of protection. A small business router does more than connect devices to the internet. It is a gatekeeper standing at the small business's front door. The gatekeeper checks who's coming in, what they're carrying, and where they're allowed to go. Physical range and awareness, the unseen boundary. Wi-Fi signal keeps the team connected inside the small business. Wi-Fi is a radio signal and radiates outward, often reaching far beyond the small business building. A hacker doesn't need to be inside to connect. Small business router placement for natural security. Small business routers' broadcasting power cannot be altered. The small business router's location can be chosen to reduce the broadcast distance outside the small business property without changing complex settings. Small business network router Wi-Fi security. Technology constantly changes, and the key to stay secure is small, regular maintenance steps that prevent larger incidents later. The key takeaway: control through awareness. The small business network router Wi-Fi connects the small business to the world and also connects the world to the small business. Understanding how the small business network router Wi-Fi signal works, where it travels, what protects it, and how to monitor it, is the key to keeping small business network router digital transactions safe and reliable. Awareness gives control. SmartStart, building technology awareness for small business.